Hello, welcome to Homeopathic Services. My name is Pierre Fontaine. I've been a professional homeopath for well over 25 years. For 25 years, I specialize in autism. And my second book, One Heart, One Mind, available on Amazon, details what I have done in order to reverse autism quickly, efficiently, and systematically. In order to bring about healing. And the emphasis has always been and still is on speed. How fast can this be achieved? One Heart, One Mind details about 20 cases and my thoughts on how to go about choosing a remedy out of 8,000 available, choosing a remedy accurately in order to be able to effect the most changes, the most reversal of autism as fast as possible, in the most efficient way. And that is what people came to call the wow effect. A lot of people call me for this wow effect, still refer to it to 15 years later after I made this discovery. But the wow effect was not possible, unfortunately, in every single case, because in order to choose accurately a remedy out of thousands of them is very, very difficult, most especially for autism, because we don't have speech, we don't have behavior that gives clear and definite symptomatology. So that was a great breakthrough in how to bring speech to a child who does not have speech and be able to take a case accurately in order to give a remedy that is accurate, that would reverse autism in a very fast and effective manner. So essentially, I needed a plan B when that does not happen. And I came to think that because ASD is arrested development in many ways, I needed to be able to match, because homeopathy is similar. We always try to match a state. We match a way of perception of life, and that is why it's so difficult to do for ASD, because it is difficult to find out what the perception of the child is, and that was the breakthrough in book number 1. But now it is not necessarily to have that. That is my plan B. It is not necessary to have that, because we can find a remedy, an accurate remedy, effective remedy in order to reverse autism without that perception. And what came about, the thinking was to go into plant DNA, the evolution of plant. See, plants evolved, especially flowering plant. There's a beginning and there's an end to flowering plant. And all of the flowering plants have an evolution, a DNA evolution, more and more sophisticated, if you will. And what I did was to take to match state of children on the spectrum to plants that are at the beginning of their evolution, just like a child is at the beginning of a life evolution. Okay, a child on the spectrum is stuck at the beginning of life evolution. So I went to the beginning of plant evolution in order to find resonance there, remedy that would have resonance, and begin to change, to reverse symptoms of autism. You see? So there are some plants that are very primitive, if you want to, we can call them that are less evolved. All right? A child on the spectrum is less evolved than a CEO, if you will. Okay, it's not a judgmental thing, but just like every child, most 99.9% of children are not CEOs. Some maybe on their way, but there's an evolution, and we can find healing if we understand the two evolution in order to bring them together to have a match, and so therefore begin to open the flower that is a child. Okay, so that is my plan B now, and we can achieve that. It's not as fast as the bullseyes, but it is fast nonetheless. Okay, so there's a lot of rotation of remedies if we're using that rather than just one or two. There's a lot of rotation of remedy, but it is very, very effective. And then the child can begin, when we remove problems, then the child moves forward. So we can be in the anxiety in the early stages of life where there is little interaction. Okay, so we can be in those beginning, remove that and move into remedies that have interaction, and then move into the remedies that have work, and then move into the remedies that have creativities, or maybe jump from anxiety, just plain basic anxiety, to creativity. It all depends on every case, but the point is that we can systematically do that, or I can systematically do that in order to move the child along his developmental, what would be a more developmental process, and therefore remove ASD and have the child literally bloom just like a flower normally would. So that is really the idea now of plan B. I start with plan A. I start every case with plan A in order to find that bullseyes. And if it's not possible, that we move along so we can do something. You see, this is an option I didn't really have before. It was bullseyes, always trying to find bullseye. But now I can remove and say, okay, this is the information I have in this case, and now we can move forward, perhaps with shorter steps, but we can move forward, get the child to anxieties, remove the anxieties, the very babyish type of anxieties, remove that and move into, when that is gone, generally we have interaction. Okay, not so much concern about oneself, therefore interaction occurs much easier, and then interaction blooms, and then from interaction blooming, a sense of life, a sense of surrounding, a sense of purpose, and from the sense of purpose then comes work. Okay, so homework, schoolwork, that begins to, that blooms as well. It's no longer done on a mechanical basis as it is often done, because the mind is there, the intelligence is there, so it's done on an automatic mechanical basis. But now it can be done in relation to my purpose in life, in relation to my purpose of who I am as a person, because we remove the anxieties, the childhood anxieties, and who I am in relation to my surroundings, my family, my friends, and then continue on with purpose and maybe creativity and responsibilities. So the whole idea of reversing autism is really to remove the blocks that prevent the progress, and that is possible with homeopathic remedies. It is absolutely possible because it reaches into the very fabric that makes us alive. So that's the message for today. It is really a terrific one. It's something I've been working on for several years now, and it's really come to fruition. I really understand this process really well now. I know where to go according to each and every single case, the specific of each and every single case, and it is quite beautiful to have a fallback position and move and improve children's, literally see them bloom where in cases where I could not do that before. Thank you so much for listening. My next video I've been promising this, my next video will be on what I feel the causes of autism, or what my strong suspicion of the cause or causes of autism are. I've said it, and it's my strong suspicion is antibiotics are involved in this. It impedes, it prevents the development, the internal development. That's what happens. But what I mean by internal development is the bacterial development that is supposed to occur in a healthy child that does not occur in autism. And being able, specifically from what I just said now, being able to trigger again, to trigger with homeopathic remedy, to trigger the development and the change in bacteria, the change in fungal matter and viral matter that is triggered the normal evolution of that in the body of a child is truly remarkable. And that is where real healing occurs. To be able to get from the front door all the way to the back door of a human body, and be able to affect that change so that it blooms. So literally the problem is completely reversed and goes away, and as if almost magical, is very, very remarkable. Thank you so very much for listening. The website is homeopathicservices.com. Again, the book on Amazon is One Heart, One Mind. There will be a second book now, I can tell, on autism in general, not just this Plan A method, but it will be a Plan B method, if we want to call it that. And that is just gonna, that has blown the doors open of in the practice here, and to see the rise in reversal is just terrific. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.